Five, four, three, two, one. This is KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. This is RGV Rocks, and this is DJ Destiny along with...
Jetwad!
Oh, shoot.
It's fine. We're all live here. But to begin with, we have in the studio today, Jetwad. You want to give us a quick little song to start off? Let's go.
It's dedicated to you. Both of
really?
you. Let's get it.
RGV Rocks. My name is DJ Destiny along with
JEG, the wannabe MC. How y'all doing?
Alright, that was a great opening, my guys. Like,
That was
oh my
awesome.
gosh, that was amazing.
Really?
I went hard. Y'all went hard, man.
I was doubting that for a second, but thank you for the confidence boost.
Alright, so I want to say KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city, is a non-profit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and as well as all the people here in the Zoom call. And as the home of indie music, we are now accepting donations through our website, www.thecity977.com, and as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. I will also be leaving donation links in the descriptions below for Cine El Rey and as well as the city. For people who don't know who we are, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to all the wonderful people, events in the RGV, such as you and I. So let's get this started, shall we? I know we've already interviewed you once, but for those who don't know who Jetwad is, they've been on our show before, and since they've been on our show before, how you've all been, especially during this pandemic. Wow, it's been a long time.
Sure. So I'll go first. Since our last interview, we just continued to play some shows, tried our best to just keep ourselves going. I don't know if we mentioned in our last interview, but all three of us live on opposite ends of the valley. I'm in Edinburgh, Ed's in Mercedes, and Frank's here in Los Fresnos. So it's always just really hard for us to get together to even, practice or just make music to begin with. So what we were doing was just basically meeting up to practice whenever we happened to have a show. So shows were kind of like our grounding for even existing as a band. But then once COVID hit, we kind of really I guess we had reasons to meet up. We still want to play, we still want to make music, but by the time we couldn't meet up, it wasn't safe. Then we didn't really feel like it was a good idea to just continue to meet up to practice, especially considering how we hardly do it to begin with. So throughout the entire year, this past year, because I guess we can argue that COVID lasted a year, even though it's still going. But yeah. the main meat of it, I guess, was a year. So in the past year, I think we met up twice, right? Yeah. Twice. So we're good. We're good. We're safe. We didn't put anybody in jeopardy. I just focused on my new record label, if you could even call it that. I just make CDs with stuff you can buy from Walmart and then promote it as official merchandise. But people seem to really have taken a liking to that. In fact, our CD that we're gonna make out of these recordings, because we're gonna take the live recordings from this interview and put them on a CD. I'll be making that and releasing it under my label. So I've just been focusing on that. What have you been up to?
I would say over the past 12 months, I have been mainly focused on school. I go to RGV. I'm studying to be a computer scientist, so a lot of my time has gone into that. I've also put quite a bit of time into working. I have a job, a part-time job, and then another portion of my time has gone into producing for the solo project that I'm starting up. So all of that has been very interesting. I've had a lot of time at home. All of us have, maybe too much time, and I would hope that that time was well spent. We'll see here in the next few months when those projects start, developing. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I'm gonna pass it over to Frank.
Hey.
All right. Hey guys. I've been just kind of isolating myself a lot, just staying in my room. I've heard that so many times, but yeah, we're just I've just been just staying at home and been working a lot, barely even writing any music during this whole pandemic stuff. I've just been focused on work because I worked as a driver for a pharmacy, and I don't work there anymore, so I can talk about it. It's whatever. But yeah, that's taken over my life, and at the same time, I was also studying to be an electrician over there at Southern Careers Institute, and I already graduated and everything. So I'm just hoping to get a job soon for that. Maybe somewhere nearby, if not somewhere far away. Who knows?
We're all trying to move to McAllen.
Yeah, we're all trying to move to McAllen. We're trying our best to get together.
Yeah, be closer so we can actually be more productive. Because I'd assume if we lived like 5 minutes away from each other, we'd be like way more productive than we are now. But what we're trying to do is like set up a schedule, like meeting up like once or twice a month to practice to write. Because I feel like we've made a lot of ground as a band within the past couple years, especially for like never meeting up to practice. Basically, like I said, we'd only practice if we had a show. So, like I can only imagine what would happen if we do end up moving close to each other. You know, we'll probably just become something completely different. Like what I'm trying to say is, if people think that we're decent now, I can only hope and look like forward to the future to see what would happen if we actually, you know, put more time and effort into what we're doing. Thanks for the question.
All right. Actually, before we start the next question, can you guys introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are?
Totally. I am CD. You can also call me Any, A-N-Y. I'm obviously the guitarist, vocalist, although I consider all of us to be vocalists. Throughout the past year, I've also been focusing on my own solo project as well. Well, it's not a solo, it's more of a duo. So people have come to know me as CD now instead of my old name. Yeah. So you can call me Feedy.
Aye.
And I'm Ed, bassist for about 4 years now. Yeah, and yeah, it's been fun.
And I'm Frank Steps. I was the drummer. I joined them I was the first one to join. That's the first one. The last one to join this band. And
we only had one lineup change.
it was just one guy, but even then,
one show.
I was the earliest one. I was the latest one that joined on this, and it's been 2 years now.
It's been three, but the last year doesn't count.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Does not
Dude,
count.
we didn't do shit in 2020.
So
I'm sorry. Can we curse or no?
Sort of. Yes and no. Yes,
Okay.
you can. If it accidentally happens, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
If it's continuous, no.
All right, no, this will be the last time.
time for your spanking.
If it's a part of the music, you're absolutely fine.
Okay.
In that
Well,
case,
Yeah.
this whole time we've been performing. This whole time it's been a song.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that's the three of us. Annie, Ed, and Frank. That's us. Jetwad.
Any Ed Frank. Sounds like a full name. So since all of y'all come from different areas from the valley, how'd y'all meet?
Oh, you can tell that story.
Okay. So, I had always wanted to start a music project because I was raised by 20-year-olds. When I was born, my parents were 19, 20. So naturally, as they raised me, they were listening to stuff like, Korn, Deftones, Chevelle, all that kind of new metal stuff from the early 2000s. So I was raised on that kind of music, as well as 90s, 80s, Nirvana, blah blah blah. So I was always raised to believe if you want respect, if you want to go somewhere in life, you need to have a band, you need to make music. So having that idea, as a child coming into my teenage years, by the time I was 16, I was okay, it's been far too long. I need to have a band now. And this guy has been my friend since 6th grade. We've known each other since 2nd grade because we were both from Mercedes. We were both raised there in Mercedes. So by the time we were juniors, about to be seniors, we were okay, look, let's finally do some music together. So I was able to coax him into playing music with me. And then we got another one of our friends from Mercedes as well to play drums. So we practiced once, and we were able to play a 45-minute show out of one practice somehow. And it's still up on YouTube for people to see if you want to see how interesting that was, because it both works and it doesn't. But anyways, so it kind of just went from there. After a while, Aaron, the original drummer, he lived in Harlingen, and we were still young, so we didn't really have cars, so he couldn't drive over, he couldn't get a ride, but we still wanted to play, we wanted to keep going. So Aaron understood. He was you guys can look for a new drummer or whatever. It's no hard feelings. So I put up an ad on bandmix.com around November of that year, which was 2017, and nobody ever responded to it at that time. So by the time it was December, we played our second show, but it was just me and Ed with no drummer. Horrible. But fast forward to February, and Frank responds to my ad on Bandmix. So it took a couple of months to get somebody to respond, but obviously the first person that responded was the perfect fit, because we're here today after 3 years. So that's how all three of us have come to come with each other and play music. I'm in Edinburgh now only because when I was living in Mercedes, I was still with my parents. So now that I'm adult, I have my own life, I can go and live wherever. So that's why I'm over there now for college. All right.
All right. So what do you guys have in store for us today?
Well, we have 4 more songs. In fact, that first song we played was one of our newest ones, so special treat. This next one is our most popular song. So whenever you'd like us to play that, just let us know.
I guess right now. So 3,
Let's go for it.
2,
1.
Let's go. Start us off, Frank.
god, your headphones fell off.
They fell off in the last song too. Every song. Oh, I should just play like a mannequin. Just play like this. Don't move the entire song.
I know, right? I've seen some guitarists do that where they just like, just what's it called? They just stand still and they're like, okay, I'm chilling, kind of thing.
I know it's like either I stand still and play good, or move around and have a good time and be visually interesting but sound like crap. Man.
So, what's it called? You're talking about okay, why we're here today. The EP. Tell us more about it. Like, what did it, how did it come about? What's the song? What's the EP title? What are the songs about? Things like that.
Well, I guess I'll talk about Noah. Alright, well, I guess since we're talking about the EP, this song Noah Me was from our EP from 2018, right? Yeah, we released it. We released it like on a show called Amplified Thursdays. I think Carter Scott like got us the gig or something like that, and we decided like, hey, let's be aliens or something. Like, let's dress up for this show, and we took inspiration from your drawings of your characters, and this is what we like kind of like got out of it. And we were like three like alien beings that had shapes of like a moon, like the moon, right there. I was the Saturn. Ed was the star because he's the one that sang most of the songs. So we made him like the main guy. But later on, we didn't really like it or anything like that. Oh Jesus, what was that?
I'll turn it on. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, the song "Know and Me," it's a simple like sad song about a guy liking a girl who really doesn't have a chance with this person, and she's also like she smokes the good old.
She injects marijuana into her bloodstream.
She chokes up.
She smokes the good old devil's lettuce, as they say.
Yeah.
And that's why in the lyrics, like, there's this one part where, in the second verse, it says, oh, I forgot the lyrics.
Try it with me.
Oh yeah, try it with me. You'll feel happy. For so briefly, not instantly.
And he actually wrote all those lyrics.
Yeah.
Our original EP/demo, Roger, that's the brainchild right there. If you've anybody who's watching has like listened to Roger, this is the person behind that. So this is the genius behind that work right there. Me and Ed, we are just slaves to his creative control right there. Just kidding. Well, a little, but not completely.
I mostly did the mixing and mastering of this song, and like these guys just came into the studio, which is my room here. They just recorded their parts and everything like that, and I've written like 3 of the songs of the EP.
You wrote like I think you wrote 4 of them.
Cowboy from the City, Unappreciated, Knowing Me, and Mental Disorder. Yeah, you're right. Those 4.
And then
the 5th one, Morse Head. That's all of us. Yeah. That's all 3 of us. Mostly, well, you guys made that song before I came in.
That was our original song.
But like as soon as I came in, like it just became whole.
Yeah.
Like the song became whole and everything.
And
And
saved our band. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Frank.
you can hear this, right? Any
Yeah.
song?
Yeah.
You can slightly hear him.
Okay. Yeah. Once I joined, like that song became whole, and like it's kind of like our staple for us because it's our longest song. It's like 9 minutes.
Oh yeah. We're playing it tonight too.
Yeah, we're playing that song too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
It's the next track actually. Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't say the whole thing. You're like, oh shit.
Hey.
Yeah, that's our next song for this interview. It's our 3rd one. But yeah. What else did you want to like find out about the EP?
When is it coming out?
I think think she meant the EP.
What?
The live EP.
Oh, this live EP?
Yeah, I think that's what she
Oh, I
meant.
thought she was talking about Roger. I'm sorry.
Hey, well, at least we got some information.
Yeah. Well, the EP, you're in charge about that.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So, since this is like the first thing we've done, like related to Jetwad, like anything, like we haven't done really anything since last year. So we felt like since this would be like I guess kind of our comeback, especially quite a strong one, since you've been so generous to take us in, and interview us. So we felt like it was a big thing, and nobody has heard from us in a year. So, like we were just completely silent. So after all this time, we felt like we owe the fans something. Those who have continued to even be interested in us. That's another thing that amazed us. Like we always took ourselves for granted. We never felt like we were anything. Like we just played music for fun. But it wasn't until like we kind of stepped away from our music that we began to see how many people actually care about us and listen to us, and like they would their favorite band. So it's just really inspiring. So with that, with CDs and physical media, it's a lot. I wouldn't say better. It's just different than like listening to something on your phone, because when you have like a CD or a record, it's like physical. You can with this object in your hand, like okay, so this took a lot of steps to get here. It took people forming the band, creating the music, coming up with the design for the album cover and the CD art and all that stuff, and then pressing it into a physical package and then giving it to me. So it's like this whole kind of like a chain of events that leads to having this physical item in your hand. So today we're going to take these live recordings of our songs and put them on the CD, since I have my little CD label. It's nothing professional. Like I said, it's like stuff that you can get at Walmart. It's just I guess it just takes like time, because it was kind of a puzzle to put it together. So I guess that's like the only reason why people would pay money for it to begin with. But anyways, so like I said, we just wanted to give people something in return. We're not going to sell these CDs for a big premium. We're probably going to sell them for like what, $3? Well, yeah, because it'll be like full color. Like, how if you have an actual CD, it has like the spine label, the CD label. Like, it'll have all that stuff. So, I mean, really, you're just paying for the materials. But we just want to put that music in your hands as a sort of a gift, if you can even call it a gift. So, really, it's just been a summation of being absent for so long, as well as the fact that since this is a live recording, all of our followers, I guess you could say, know us from our live shows, because like sure, there's Roger, which is our EP thing, but I don't really think people have discovered us through there. I think that's more so just been the piece of music from us that people like will latch onto and be like, okay, this is what Jetwad has out, so I'm gonna listen to this. But I feel like our strong suit really is our live shows, because like we've gotten plenty of compliments from our live shows, and maybe that's like I said, that's kind of been the thing that keeps us going, or did keep us going back before COVID. Those shows, we wouldn't even meet up. It would just be to prepare for a show. So I guess with this recording, we're kind of showing our appreciation for the local live scene, as well as just the fact that we also kind of believe that through our live recordings is where you can really hear the magic between us. Magic. Man, I sound really pretentious, but I guess that'd be a good way to put it.
That little kiss at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Thanks. It's to everybody right now listening, watching.
What?
I don't know. I'm too nervous.
I think that was it, right? Yeah, that was it.
What else can we talk about?
Oh, actually, talking about going back to actually live performances, because I did see you guys at Cine during Amplified Thursdays when you guys did wear the costumes. How hard was that to breathe in? Because I know you guys had like a full-on bodysuit, and like on top of that, like I think, what was it, cardboard paper?
Yeah, it was like foam board. foam board.
There you go, the foam board. It was probably the most uncomfortable experience on stage I've ever had. I don't know if they can relate to it, but
especially
oh my. Yeah. Well, what's that, Frank?
I could say that my drumsticks kept falling from my fingers all the time. So
Oh,
I
no.
bought specific kinds that have grip in the bottom, and even then they were still slipping off. And I was
Oh, because
really,
of the bodysuit, right?
yeah, it's I don't know what kind of texture it is, like silk or some shit. Like, I'm sorry again.
It's fine. We just like bleep it out.
Yeah, and then well, for me so it's like a bodysuit. So like you're covered like 100% of your body, and like the finger holes that the suit had were like super thick at the tips, and
Oh
so
no.
like I was here on like the fretboard playing harmonics, not even intending to do that, just because like I'm pressing two strings at the same time, like it was just, and then you can see because the face covering kind of blocked out the light, and there wasn't that much light to begin with, because like you're on stage and lighting is like minimal, so man, it was. I got through it with pure muscle memory, and I guess it went all right. Like it left an impression on people, whatever that impression was. Maybe good, maybe bad.
Well, I mean, we got at that show. We actually got
Bless you.
how can I say it? We
Bless you.
Oh my god.
Bless you.
oh wait, did
Thank you,
somebody
thank you,
sneeze?
thank you.
Oh bless
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm bad. I did it.
No worries. I was that show. We actually got somebody asking us if they how can I word it? Somebody tried to sign us to their label, basically, or not. Well, yeah,
Yeah, that guy, Javi.
yeah, Javi from Buen Viaje. Is that how you say their band name?
I think so.
Javi from Buen Viaje, they're big in Mexico, was at that show, and he liked us, and he was like, I want to get you guys a deal. I want to like, get you touring. We can even like get like some high quality like versions of your costumes, and like
Ooh.
he made it like real official. Like he brought us outside. He was like, "You want to smoke?"
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
I mean, not like a joint, but like a cigarette. Like he bust out his pack. And he's like,
Siri.
yeah, he's like, so I want to take you guys around the world. Like it was really flattering. All of us were there. We're just like, whoa, this is like what we've been dreaming of. But then, upon like thinking about it more, we didn't think that we have the time to devote that kind of thing because Ed has like school, and we all agreed when we started this group that like we're not gonna like make each other do things we don't want to do. And when Ed started, like I already knew that he has like his own things set in mind. So we can't exactly be like working on Jetwad all the time, like if it was a full-time business, because we have those other aspirations. I mean, I'm willing to put in full-time, Frank too, but we respect Ed's focuses completely, wholeheartedly. In fact, the band revolves around these kinds of schedules. So
Well,
with that,
what if the opportunity comes? Are y'all gonna like take it, or what's gonna happen there? Because that's one of many that could come.
that's very true.
Have y'all discussed that?
Not really. What would you think?
Kinda did. Like, we kind of did discuss about it. Ever since we got that first one, we were thinking to ourselves, like, when's the next one gonna come in? Like, do you think we're gonna get a next one or something like that? Like, there was actually some sort of like me pressuring, like, hey, we should totally take this. But then like later on, like we actually talked about it, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, like maybe like the first offer shouldn't always be our first take, We'd have to think about what exactly do they offer. They can say all these good things, but then they can slide something else or something like that,
Like you didn't have a contract.
Yeah, there's no contract, and maybe like if there was like we have to pay something so that way we can tour per month or something like that.
We didn't have
It's just it's just something we always have to think about before we make that kind of huge decision. Also like about our lives too. Like Ed studies, and he's doing a business, and I'm doing kind of like solo work as well, but also trying to make music, and committing to that, all three of us, is going to take everything away, like our normal lives away, and we're going to be like as as they call it, professional musicians. You know, touring musicians.
And is
So
that something you would want?
me and Annie, yes. Ed, I'm not too sure. We would have to talk about it. But you know, the point is that if there's another offer going on, like we'll definitely talk about it and think really critically about it and make sure if this decision is final and good for all of us. You know,
This begs like the question of asking Ed, like, what do you think about like this kind of situation?
Oh, yeah, I think like most of it just revolves around our work that we do as a band, because that's our core. And right now, as it stands, our work is not that developed, I would say, right? So we've been around for since 2017. It's now 2021. We're about a quarter into the year, a little more actually, and the output that we've had, I think, has still some like more thought that needs to go into that, and like more. Definitely, we need a more unique sound needs to be like put out there for people to see, and then based on that response, that's when I think we could better gauge, like, is this something that we can actually do? Like, is this something that we can realize
for a living as well.
right for a living? Because if I had to choose between programming 8 hours a day, 5 days out of the week, versus touring around the country, maybe even around the world, playing music, obviously the choice is programming for 8 hours a day. No, I'm kidding. It's playing music with these guys, my best friends. So for sure, I just think we need a more developed sound, right? We need to put that out there, and then we get a better idea of what we're working with, and if it's a potential path forward for the three of us and our lives. So I'm 100% down for it. I think it'd be really fun, and I'm working, like working towards that. So it's a journey with lots of different paths that can be taken, and so we just have to see where we end up. But I'm down for anything, really am.
Well, thank you for giving me a new reason to live.
Hey.
Talking about that really quick before you guys go into the other song. You guys mentioned about your own sound and your own uniqueness a lot. What do you guys feel you consider your band as? Like rock, indie, or like experimental, or what kind of genre do you guys like? What kind of genre are you guys?
That's a good question.
I have an idea. So we'll all take turns giving our idea as to what we believe the genre of our band is. So I believe we're alternative metal slash indie rock.
I would disagree on that. I mean, I would agree that we are alternative. I mean, the term is so broad nowadays that
Yeah.
like you can say like a synth band is alternative, and then you can say like some band that just plays pure like distortion can be alternative as well. I mean, I would pinpoint us to be, well, definitely label it as alternative because it's a safe choice. But we also all have rock roots, like on our music, like that we listen to regularly. So when I guess we all listen to '90s stuff too, so we've got that kind of influence, and we're not afraid to mess around as well with our guitars and drums. So we always try to create something like weird, and then try to make it sound poppy, but then go back to weird.
Maybe avant-garde, maybe.
Nah, I wouldn't
No?
say avant-garde.
No?
No.
I feel like we get kind of close sometimes.
Nah. But yeah, I would just say we're alternative rock with a little hint of
Experimentation.
just a little hint of garage, because our recordings so far have been just recorded in my room, and it has a kind of a lo-fi feel to it. I don't like to say vibe. I feel like everyone says that, but yeah, that's what I think our genre is for the most part for now.
Yeah, I would say this really is a good question. We've kind of tussled with this for the longest time. But if I had to kind of put us on that spectrum, it's weird. We have like very, very different personalities kind of being put into a group. For example, we have Annie, who's more of an artist than a musician. So it's like you get more artsy with, with that kind of stuff. And then you have Frank, who's more of a musician than an artist, in that he's more of that straight-laced rock, structured kind of person. And then I'm not really sure where I put myself at, but
I feel like you're kind of in the middle.
yeah, I might be just like a blend of those two, and so like you get the three of us, and you like put all that together, and whatever that is, I don't really have a name for it. That's what the music is. So you'd have to like really listen to the newer material since 2018's Roger Roger. It's mainly like we said earlier, it's mainly like Frank's concoction. Yeah, like that doesn't give a true representation of what our sound is, which is why it's unfortunate that it's taken us so long to release new material, because I feel like that's kind of like led people down not a flawed impression of us, but one that we don't necessarily want to be out there. So
You come off as like lazy or something.
yeah, so I guess like we just have to wait until the new music comes out.
Which is why we're doing this live EP. It's
Like you said, it's kind of one of the reasons why we're doing this live EP, because it'll give people that taste of new music, while not giving away too much from the upcoming album. That's why, like, on the first song we played tonight, I wasn't singing, even though we already do have some vocals for it. Just so you can like I said, like a taste, almost a sample of what's to come, plus also capturing the live sound. So kind of a mixture of keeping people on edge for the album release, as well as capturing our live sound. How is that related to what we were talking about?
It's okay, it happens.
I'm clueless.
Sound, uniqueness. That's what we're
Sound.
talking about.
Oh yeah. So I
The
really
way I see it, you're the new wave. You're the new wave.
new wave.
You're the next thing right there, man. Straight up. That's the best way to put it. New wave.
That is a good way to put it.
Because
Nice, man.
nowadays it's kind of hard to stick to a genre or to have a genre, because people are trying new things, doing crazy other stuff. It's all good to not have a genre. The way I see it, you're rocking. You're just doing something new. You're the new wave.
Maybe we're considered like internet rock or something like that. Like-
I like new wave better. I prefer new wave.
Yeah, new wave probably is a better term.
E-rock.
Because like, I don't want to label ourselves with like negative XP or something like that.
Negative XP.
Yeah, he's like
Negative
an internet.
XP.
Yeah, he's like an internet rock musician. He made this one song. You know that song. Yeah, I don't want to say it,
Yeah, okay.
but it's a song. I find it funny.
I
But
think we're far away from internet.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But it's because we're like the new generation of
We're
band
the new
of
wave.
artists. Yeah, the new wave, as that guy said. So
I think
yeah,
we
I
go back
guess
to
so.
that.
I guess so. We can just say that we're the new wave.
That's cool.
All right, without further ado, what is your next song that you're going to be performing for us today?
This next song is our. Oh, let me turn on Ed's amp. This next song is the first song we ever wrote, ever. More Heads Inside Me. And it's also our longest. So, you go ahead and take a nap if you want to. Can we try that again? my tuner was on. All right, sorry about that. At least it's not halfway through the song. Okay, let's go. gray, a distant line that I can pretend to be true remain. Our minds come to our hands to take something that isn't vain. Around it goes and I still say you're in Roy's hand. Inside
I'm speechless at the fact, like, oh my god, it's so good! Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
did he
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Thank you.
it, man!
Thank you.
Oh my
That was awesome. That was awesome, man.
Really?
Y'all went hard.
I can't believe that. Thank you. Oh man.
I
It's
think
compliments
I
like
think
that.
You need, like, I think you need like a drink of water or something.
Yeah.
You need some milk.
Actually, before we go on to like the next question, actually, you know what, Jake? Do you want to leave this question? This question?
No, I'm speechless right now. I'm trying to soak in what just happened. I don't got nothing on my mind right now. I'm sitting down.
Oh my gosh. How can I say it? Actually, let's go on to like live performances, since you all, are known for your live performances. Where have you guys performed before? Like, I guess, and also what's inspired like your music? I know you guys said like '90s bands. Like, what specifically inspired you guys to like write?
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like most of like Steve Albini's record label, all like a bunch of the bands that were on there probably influenced a lot of our sound. I think Frank, I've heard a lot of I don't know. I think
the Strokes.
yeah. That was like Frank was really into the Strokes, and like similar sounding bands.
Slint.
Yeah.
We all listen to Slint. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, man, what else? Weezer was like
Oh yeah.
a band that we would cover a lot of their music. Like when we were first starting out, a lot of tracks from like the Blue album and even from the Green one, I think.
We covered Hash Pipe like once.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And yeah, I would just say various rock influences, mainly probably from starting at the 90s.
2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's where most, maybe like 60% of it comes from. 75. Yeah.
I'd say that's a lot of, those are a lot of our original influences, like the stuff that we were really listening to and taking inspiration from when we started playing back in like 2017, 18. Now I feel like our influences have changed drastically. Like nonetheless, the music we listen to now is rooted in those influences, like Weezer, Slint. But now I feel like we've evolved. Well, I mean, you're always evolving every second, right? But I feel like now our music tastes has grown off of that. Like, what are some artists that you've listened to, let's say within the last year?
The last year.
Yeah, that you consider to be one of your strongest influences.
Oh, I know. One huge influence that I really got into like during the pandemic, and I guess also a year, 2 years ago as well, would be Mike Kroll. Mike Kroll is an amazing, like, garage. I would say I would say his sound would be like lo-fi bedroom rock, but to like a very punk extreme. But his songwriting would be more into like sappy love songs, so kind of like Blink-182, but except without the high quality. And he does like a lot of downstroke things. So he's like, I would say he's into the Ramones, and I like his music, and I like the Ramones too, and I can hear that from his music. And yeah, Mike Kroll.
Right there.
Yeah, there he is. Mike Kroll. This is my favorite album right here. It's called I Hate Jazz, but I don't hate jazz. I don't think he hates jazz either, but. That's the first album I ever listened to. So one of his songs, or two of his songs, were in the Steven Universe episode. It was in a Steven Universe episode.
I didn't know that.
I barely got to know that, and it's Like a Star or something like that. And it's off of this album, and I love this album so much. It's a really good influence in my opinion too, because I can hear like the Strokes into it, but in a really like raunchy, distorted, lo-fi way. So that's kind of like a new artist that I got into. Also, Death Grips, but I mean, I guess that's not really like a kind of an influence because I don't really like make anything that's similar to that sound. Yeah, I just like listening to them. They're cool.
For me, a lot of the artists I've gotten into lately are completely like the complete opposite of the stuff that we were taking influence from when we started playing. Like now, I listen to a lot of like classic hip hop, like 80s, 90s, as well as a lot of like experimental stuff, like old experimental stuff from like 60s, 70s, like Throbbing
Oh, boy.
Gristle, Cabaret Voltaire, the Velvet Underground. Which I've taken a lot of influence from the Velvet Underground for our band and like the way they play and stuff. Um, so I listen to a lot of like, well, I don't know, A Tribe Called Quest, Cypress Hill,
Yes,
I
Outkast.
know. Jake's kind of fangirling right now.
Dude, hell yeah, man.
I
Like,
love hip
all
hop,
the-
man.
Dude, like I
That's my
want to
life.
put it. I want to put a hip hop influence in our music. Like I don't want to just keep playing rock. Like
can do a hip hop.
really, fuck yeah, all right. Yo, just keep a lookout for our next stuff. You heard it here.
Yeah. Bacon, tomato, potato. I don't know.
Yo, damn, you're spinning some fire right there. You sure this is the Jetwad live show? Or is it you, man? I'm fucking around. You showed us up right there, man. Man, you should be the vocalist for us, not me.
Hey,
Wow.
if y'all need help with any rap material, I got you. I'm a rapper.
Dude,
Yeah,
what's your username? What's like
I'm
your?
Jack the Poet on Instagram.
Oh shit! I've seen your stuff, man. Good
Ah,
work, good work.
what?
Keep it up.
Hey,
Don't
thank
stop,
you.
man.
Really appreciate
Yeah, for
that.
sure. Jay the Poet. Yeah, I've seen your stuff. Don't stop.
That's
Don't
what's
stop, man.
up, man.
For sure. What about you, Ed? What stuff you been listening to?
Lately for me, man, it's probably been most recently. I've been listening to a lot of like reggaeton or just like Latin trap, like that kind of.
There's Latin trap. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be like I'm sure you know Bad Bunny, or at least have heard of him.
Excuse me.
That's like the most popular example I can think of. I think he's like the #1 streamed artist on Spotify right now, and like, yeah, he has some of that influence going on. But that's what I've been listening to lately. It's pretty interesting how like it's how different genres can like cross even international borders and like really influence
Yeah.
the music there. Because you can really see like the hip hop influence in a lot of like that type of music in Latin America, and then likewise like if you go back like with Jamaica and like the reggae, how that kind of like even evolved into that kind of mixed with like hip hop and other genres and kind of like fused together to make what we have today. So that's like always interesting to just listen and like I guess appreciate maybe would be a good word to use there. So that's what I've been cycling through these past few months. It's been a lot of my intake. Yeah. So,
There you have it.
Okay. I know this is like a little awkward silence.
No
We don't have
worries.
awkward
No
Um,
worries. Awkwardness is a social construct.
I was going to ask actually, since you all do different instruments, how long have you been playing like drums, bass, and also guitar?
Oh, that's a good question for me. I've been playing. I started playing like my first instrument was in middle school, which was a French horn. I was in band. But I also my dad got me into guitar during that time. I sucked so bad at it, and it was always an on and off thing for years until I finally picked it up again, but as an acoustic guitar in sophomore year of high school. That's when I started learning like the simple songs like "Hey There Delilah" by Plain White Tees. That was like the first song I ever learned that I actually like completed, mastered it on the guitar. Like the whole song, I could play it all the way through. Yeah, I started with guitar like that, and during that time, I was also playing the Beatles Rock Band on my Nintendo Wii, and because of that, I started learning how to play drums with it. Like I would mess around with my dad's old drum set in the garage, and like I didn't know how to play it at all.
Who's
And
your
I,
dad?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that.
His dad's famous.
No, stop, stop. But yeah, my dad's drum set was just there, and I would pick it up. He never taught me anything. I just would play random stuff on it, and then I got a hold of the Beatles Rock Band for Christmas, and also Guitar Hero 5 and 6, and I would play the drums on that, and I just learned how to play drums because of that, because of those games. And after that, after a while, like, I mean, I would actually start learning paradiddles and do all the crashes, the accents, and learn how to actually structure a beat into a riff, and transition with fills and everything like that. Just naturally, I would just try to find things like that all the time. And once I got to college, I was studying music education there for over there at Kingsville, for to be like a French horn teacher or whatever. And that didn't really work out because I saw to I saw myself, I didn't see myself as a teacher. And to this day, I still don't. Like, I just want to play music and record stuff. That's when I finally had my epiphany of, would I rather take my music career into the education side and just sit on a desk and do paperwork, or would I want to take it the other way where I just want to play live, record, do my own thing, and just be free like that? And I decided I would left Kingsville, transferred back to UTRGV, studied there for a while. I changed my major to art. I don't know why I did it, but I just did it for a whole year, and it just didn't work out. I wasn't like as good as an artist as the rest of the freshmen, or like first comers there. Like, everyone else had like a better like technique and all that stuff, and I was just still trying to catch on. And so I kind of like stopped that, and I didn't go to school for a while, for like the longest time, until like last year, 2020, when the pandemic happened, to be an electrician. But yeah, like when that was the second, kind of like the second wave of like me trying to get more into music. After like 2 years from there, well, no, not 2 years, a whole year after that, like 2016, that's when I started writing music in my room. Like, all I had was an iRig 2, like a little thing that connects to your phone, and you just plug in your guitar onto it, and you just record like that onto GarageBand. And that's what I've been doing this whole time. And I would use like the fake drums inside the GarageBand like settings and stuff, and I would make songs like that all like throughout that year until I completed a full album, which I will not be showing yet until I form a band for that project. That's something that's going to be for the future. I hope it happens. But yeah, after that, like, I started, learning more and more and more about music and all that stuff. And I learned drums. I learned to play guitar, bass. I trained myself in vocals. Not the best of it, but I guess I would say it's a style now. Like, my voice is a kind of style that not really people would get into, or even like, I guess it's like a preferred thing. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just play I play this thing, but not regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I really just, whenever we have a show, or like, I treat it more as like a toy than an instrument, in that like it's just fun to play, like it, like how a child would play with a toy. That's how I use this thing. It's like just something to entertain for a little bit, and that's kind of how I treat every instrument I own. I have this, and then I have a keyboard, like a synthesizer at home, that I kind of use for the same. Like, when I'm bored, I just kind of like mess around with some of the sounds that it can make, and that's really it. I started playing when I was 17 and 18. I was also in band. I played the trumpet starting like the 6th grade. So musical experience. I have had quite a bit of it. But like playing to make music just for fun on my own, not till like I was 17 or 18, and it's mainly with these people here. And then, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Um, I would say I'm not a good instrumentalist. It's just like something that you do for fun. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But let's hear about you.
I'd agree with you on like using an instrument more as like something to entertain rather than like as some kind of like tool. Because I was in band too. We obviously went to the same school since we're both from Mercedes. We're the same class and everything. So we were both in the 6th grade the same year. He was a trumpet, I was a French horn. Although my musical experience began when I first got my guitar when I was like 8. My dad got an acoustic guitar for Christmas like 2007 or 8. And he could play Nothing Else Matters, that Metallica song. Because all it is like, it's the lowest E string. Oh, my amp's off. Anyways, basically it's just like strumming 4 strings on the guitar open, like repeatedly. So something so simple blew my mind when I was 8. I was like, holy cow, you can play that song that easy? So that like inspired me to get a guitar. So I asked my parents for one. They got me one. So I still have this picture of me when I'm like a fetus holding this guitar that's like bigger than my body. But I never really played it. You know, it was more so like a fascination. Like, okay, I can play Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, but I'm too tiny to like write anything. So it was just there sitting, gathering dust. And then by the time I turned 14 and 15, that's when I'm like, okay, you know, I'm more interested in playing guitar. So I start learning how to play like my favorite songs and stuff. And that's the best way to learn. If you ever want to try to learn an instrument, just learn to play your favorite songs, because then you'll have fun playing the instrument, and then you'll take like notes from like the kind of techniques that your favorite bands use. So that's probably how we all kind of learned how to play like our instruments. Like you said, you learned playing in rock band, so the same thing. That's how you learned rhythm, probably by playing along with those songs. So same thing here. So I think we all have a fair amount of musical experience, not only from band, but just from having that interest in wanting to create music to begin with.
Alright, I have to ask you guys like a quick question, because I know it's already getting that time where it's about to be over. You guys have one more song, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Do it.
Alright, so in that case, the floor is yours.
Oh, shit, alright.
Which one are we playing?
Let's do
The new one.
Oh,
Call the Colors?
yeah, okay.
All right.
Sorry about the wait. Good to go.
bring you back. Do you guys want to say? Actually, first off, do you have any social media or anything that people can follow you by, or like look you guys up at?
You can follow me on Instagram. Well, everyone who's watching, y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's just at Frank Steps. That's it. That's all it is. And also on Facebook too. Yeah, I think that's it.
You can follow me by following Jetwad first. The Jetwad account on Instagram is just Jetwad TX, and on there it has all of our ats to like our personals. So that works too. We're mainly active on Instagram, although we're trying to get back on Facebook because we have like a following on Instagram and Facebook separately, so they're different crowds. So you can follow us on either one of those. Just look up our extremely unique and terrible name, JETWAD.
Oh wow. Let's see. Yeah, you can just find me on by going to the Jetwad page. My ad is on there. I'm not really too active on any social media, but I think Instagram would probably be like the most active if I had to choose. So yeah, y'all can find me on there, and if I ever like just become active at one point, y'all can see it. So that's about it. Yeah. Any oh, I know you wanted. Well, yeah, was that everything?
Oh, okay. So then after that, shoutouts. You guys want to say any shoutouts before you leave?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got to think about it. Yeah.
Shout out to the Vans. Y'all make amazing music. I've been like listening to you every time I shower. And also, I guess this one band I also got into lately, Otto Boke Beaver. Shout out to them too. They're pretty cool.
Actually, not too sure. I know you have your list.
Shout out to my dad and Martin and Clarissa. I would not be here if it wasn't for my dad driving me all the way from Edinburgh to Mercedes to carpool with Ed. You heard it here. I'm an infant that can't take care of myself. So thank you, Dad. As well as my family, I'd like to thank all of those who still choose to care about us three, me, Ed, Frank, the band, and I like to thank all of those who are interested in the local scene to begin with. If you support local businesses, artists, then I can't say that you're not doing at least one thing right. So, yes, thank you to all of the people in the RGV.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to, let's see. I think just my family. Yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job at pointing me in the right direction. Can't say I would be here without their, the way they raised me. So, yeah, all the love in the world goes to them, and to you guys too for being with me, as friends. It really touches my heart that we could call ourselves friends for almost 4 years now, going on 4 years. Hopefully longer.
Let's hope it's a lifetime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got one more shout out. Shout out to Harley's Comet, by the way. New friends of mine, they're awesome. Check them out in this one show. I think it's called Dankfest. Yeah, Dankfest. It's on 420, April 20th. I'm not kidding. It's real.
But, what does that mean?
Huh?
What does 420 mean? What?
Okay,
Why is it
so
called
we're gonna-
Dankfist?
We're kind of
what-
running short on time right now, so is that it for shoutouts?
That is it.
Alright, so I want to thank you guys for being here so, oh my gosh, for the second time on our show. To remind you guys, we are sponsored by the historic Cine El Rey Theater, dedicated to preserving the past for the future. If you guys want to follow us, check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, RGV Rocks. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks. Twitter is RocksRGV. I'd like to send a special shout out to everyone listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, The City. Thank you guys so much for being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Dudes. Y'all are awesome. Y'all kick butt.
Thank
Straight
you.
up.
Thank you. It really means a lot because we've been on the ruts lately because we haven't been playing at all, and you guys still we still get compliments even after that.
So thank you. We really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you.
All right. So I want to remind everyone, thank you for listening to our humble little show. We'll be here next time on KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. And we'll see ya!
Bye! If you don't join in, I'm going to smack you.